Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So first and foremost, we are sorry about the bit of a hiatus, but as mentioned in previous videos, like there were some issues. Without dwelling on them, I would like to begin this channel by shouting out Mr. Dhivin Joshua. क्योंकि ये उन्होंने कमेंट हिंदी में लिखा था, इसलिए मैं उत्तर भी हिंदी में ही देना चाहूँगा. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू रियली अप्रिशिएट योर हिंदी. आपकी हिंदी बहुत अच्छी है, स्पेशली फॉर समवन की जो दक्षिण भारत से है, जिनकी हिंदी मातृभाषा नहीं है, तो उस हिसाब से तो आपकी हिंदी बहुत ही अच्छी है. अब आते हैं मुद्दे पे. आपने पूछा था कि आपकी उम्र अब शादी की हो गई है, आप लड़की ढूंढ ढूंढ रहे हैं और इसलिए आपको मुझसे एडवाइस चाहिए. तो द नंबर वन एडवाइस आई कैन गिव यू मिस्टर देविन इज फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट अबव एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स लुक फॉर टू थिंग्स. वन, shared values. टू, a shared plan and a shared plan for the future. क्योंकि कभी कभी कैसे होता है कि आपको कोई बहुत पसंद आ गया, ठीक है, उस लड़की में सब अच्छा है, राइट, शी मेक्स यू लाफ, व्हाटएवर, यू लाइक हर, शी इज ब्यूटीफुल, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, बट फॉर व्हाटएवर रीजन उसके जो कोर वैल्यूज है जीवन के, वो आपसे अलाइन नहीं होते. आई गिव एन एग्जांपल फ्रॉम योर ओन रिलीजन, क्रिश्चियनिटी. आई जस्ट अज्यूम कि यू आर कैथलिक. I'm not sure though. Catholics are strictly against
I
it.
think he has mentioned in the comment that he's a Malayali Christian.
Yeah, but not like he didn't say if he's Catholic or Protestant.
Okay, okay.
So
My bad.
like I don't know which denomination.
Right.
So क्योंकि obviously Catholics में abortion बहुत बुरा माना जाता है. Under no circumstances they allow abortion. They consider life holy, something like this, right? But Hindu और मुसलमानों में I'm not sure. Like it's still, I'm not saying it's accepted or someone celebrates it, but इतना strong cultural और religious मोरे नहीं है इसके against. तो ये बस एक एग्जांपल है, अभी आपको पता चलेगा कि आपके लिए कौन से वैल्यूज है. सो अग्री ऑन दोज. एंड सेकंड थिंग यू शुड अग्री ऑन इज अ शेयर्ड प्लान फॉर द फ्यूचर. ठीक है, क्योंकि जब आप जवान होते हो आपके इतने प्लान नहीं होते आपको आइडिया नहीं होती लाइफ में क्या करना है. एंड बट यू शुड sit down and actually make a plan for your life, and like you should try to have a shared future, and you should try to live, एंड यू शुड ट्राई टू मीट योर पार्टनर. दिस इज व्हाट हम, मैंने और शर्वर ने बैठ के भी यही किया था. प्यार की बात है बहुत दूर. हमने पहले देखा था कि ओके आपको जिंदगी से क्या उम्मीदें हैं, मुझे जिंदगी से क्या उम्मीदें हैं, आपको क्या बनना है जिंदगी में, मुझे क्या करना है, और क्या हमारे गोल्स और वैल्यूज अलाइन होते हैं, किन बातों पे हमें एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ेगा, किन बातों पे एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करना पड़ेगा. तो ये हुआ. इस बेसिस पे आपको, मेरे हिसाब से मेरी एडवाइस आपको ये होगी कि when you first apply the selection, apply it based on that. Then you'll have a pool of women, hopefully, who have shared values and common interests with you. Then you should see, okay, क्या मुझे ये लड़की attractive लगती है, क्योंकि attraction ऐसी चीज है जो आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते. आपको या तो कोई पसंद आता है या नहीं आता, उसमें ना आप कुछ कर सकते हो ना दूसरी व्यक्ति कुछ कर सकती है. And once you feel a certain level of attraction for someone, then above all put emphasis on moral character.
Yeah.
क्योंकि आजकल का जो जमाना है, it is all about show off, it is all about flashy nonsense, it is just about giving off a cool image, etc., etc. But looks will fade, you know, like no matter how beautiful someone is, when they're 50, 60, 70, they're not going to look beautiful. मार्क ट्वेन ने कहा है कि as we age the beauty steals inside. तो लेकिन मॉरल कैरेक्टर ऐसी चीज होती है जिसपे आपका नियंत्रण होता है. यू वर्क ऑन योर मॉरल कैरेक्टर, यू वर्क ऑन बीइंग अ गुड पर्सन. एंड आई वुड से कि अगर आप अपने जीवन में अच्छे कर्म करने का प्रयास करेंगे और आप अपने पार्टनर से वही उम्मीद रखेंगे और मॉरल स्टैंडर्ड सेट करेंगे, तो आई थिंक दैट्स अ good way to look for a partner. So I think to summarize, I would say look for shared values, look for a common life goals, and whether you can realistically compromise on a few of them, and to have a shared plan for your future. And third of all, select above all and above everything else for moral character, and not on some let's just say external things which might not matter much in the larger scheme of things. आपको कुछ ऐड करना है शर्वरी?
नहीं, I think he has summed it up very well. And ये बहुत important चीजें रहती है क्योंकि मैरिज ही ऐसी चीज है that you can't just game around in that. वो बहुत एक
बड़ा फैसला,
हाँ, बहुत एक बड़ा डिसीजन रहता है. सो होपफुली आपको अच्छी लड़की मिले. सोच समझ के डिसीजन लीजिएगा.
ऑल द बेस्ट, वी आर रूटिंग फॉर यू.
डेफिनेटली.
Yeah.
सो या
Okay.
सो आज के टॉपिक पे आते हैं. एंड आई थिंक नाउ आई स्विच टू इंग्लिश बिकॉज एज आई मेंशन्ड बिफोर माय हिंदी इज नॉट दैट गुड.
Yeah.
सो आई वुड प्रेफर टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश मोर देन हिंदी.
Sure.
बट today's topic is actually my idea because I was thinking about life the other day and growing up and all of these things. And suddenly I went on this memory train back. And I was like, okay, there is a lot of wisdom that I've achieved in whatever
10
years I have, been living so far. And Sarang is being Sarang as usual. But in whatever years I have lived life, and I've learned a lot of things, made mistakes, failed, excelled, all of these things, there are a few things I would like to go and tell my younger self.
Yes.
My 17 or 18-year-old self. So now let's be candid on this channel. I'm 26, he's 28. So age is not something that I'm ashamed of at all. So I think for us, it's been 10 years, 10, 11, 12 years that we are out of our teenage phase, or we are not there anymore. And a few things that we would want to go back and share. So would you like to?
No, I think आपको शुरू करना चाहिए.
Okay.
You should take it.
Okay.
Ladies
So, the first one I would say is friendships evolve over time. So, this is what I'll go and tell my 17-year-old self. And I think I have made a video on friendships. So, please go and watch that if you haven't. My candid experience with my friendships and all of that. So, I've had a really tough time maintaining friendships, and it has made me learn a lot of things. One of them I would say is quality over quantity always. So you may not be a part of a big group, or you may not be going out all the time or having all these activities, but always have those 3 or 4 people you can count upon. Because in the long run, that will really matter than these 15, 20 people and their groups and all of that. Because there is a lot of internal politics that goes on. People are not what they seem to be, and this world is really bad. So I think that is something I would tell my 17-year-old.
So that's the first lesson she would tell. And I think one thing, maybe because we were speaking earlier, and you had mentioned ki one more thing that you would tell yourself is don't be desperate in friendship.
That's true.
Right? Like I think you forgot to mention it here.
Right.
So I just want to add for clarity for the viewers. That's what she said in the earlier conversations. Because if you approach something with a desperate mindset, then you'll never get it. Be like, okay, like be respectful, be nice, be like, hey, this is what I bring to the table. I would love it if you're my friend. If not, wish them well and walk away with your head held up.
Correct. Right? Correct.
That served me well, but that's mostly because I'm asocial kind of. But yeah. Anyway, so what I would tell myself is you're okay with who you are, and don't try to put on a facade. Because when I was 17 or 18, I was an insecure guy because I was always teased for being a nerd or whatever, like I was not very muscular, I was a bit too skinny. Point is, like, I had, just like anyone else at that age, I had a lot of insecurities. So whenever I would talk to people, and especially when I would talk to girls, I would try to put on a facade. I would try to be cooler than I was, I would try to be whatever. And as I grew older, I kind of found my niche. I found people who loved me, like male friends who loved me regardless of whether I was cool or uncool. They just didn't care. And I think that played a big role in just me getting comfortable in my own skin and me like not putting on a facade. And that made me comfortable. It made me grow into a personality. I obviously am a huge nerd, but I just accepted it and rolled with it. So yeah, like this advice I would tell myself, that don't put on a facade, be yourself. Over to you.
Exactly. The third one I would put here on the table is that don't let anyone shame you for a clean living. Because in that, phase, you're like, oh, why am I sleeping at 10 o'clock? I should be out partying, I should be smoking, drinking, like whatever. And we all make these choices, and we don't realize it at that time, maybe, but it will definitely cost us a lot in the future when it comes to our own health. And now I have started coming to a much cleaner way of living. So I have dinner very early, I go to bed at a reasonable time. And people used to make fun of me before when I actually used to or tried doing this. They were like, oh, you're no fun. You're literally a spoil sport and don't be a party pooper. And I heard things like that.
Yeah.
But I always made sure that, now coming to this phase, that does not affect me, because I know that I am the only person that can take care of my health. Nobody else is going to do it for me. So if I inculcate this clean living into my schedule right now, it will help me in the long run.
Yeah. So, good thing.
Yeah.
What I would tell myself is, like, studies are important and your degree and everything matters, but it's not the end of the world. Because I was propagandized into believing that if you don't get a degree, you're a failure, and if you get some kind of degree, then like baki sab jannat hai. Like you just get that degree and life is smooth sailing afterwards. That's not true. Degrees are like if you have a good degree in a real field with real demand in the market, you get certified. That will open the door in the industry for you. But it's literally just your starting point. It will just get you on step one. If you want to progress, then learning on the job experience you get along the way is worth its weight in gold. And when doing all this, do not abandon life. Like as Asian kids, we are taught to just leave everything, destroy our lives, and just focus, break our head over books. Don't do that. Like, it really doesn't matter if you got 95% or 85%. Like, it really doesn't that much. It, like, maybe it has some effect, but looking back, was the juice worth the squeeze? I don't know. Like, I'm much rather looking going back, I would spend maybe less time studying and more time developing my own personality, other things. And these things have a clear and distinct advantage when it comes to landing jobs.
Right.
Like, so that's what I would tell myself.
That's
Don't
very
study
good.
too much. Focus on key knowledge. Don't stop living. Sorry.
I think the parents of all the kids that are watching this are gonna come with a hammer behind our
I
back,
don't
but
think
it
so.
is
I
true.
don't think so. And if they do, then I speak the truth, and
It is what it
it
is.
is what it is.
Okay, the next thing I would like to mention here is have a lot of self-respect. So this is a very important thing that I learned very late. Like, I'll be very honest. I've always been honest here on this channel, but this is something I've hardly learned like 2 years ago. Before that, as Sharang mentioned, I was pretty desperate. I made poor choices, and that was all because I lacked self-respect, or I didn't have the courage to voice what I felt right. And recently, the both of us took some life decisions which maybe might not have been right for other people, or something they would not have done. But I think we stayed put to what we felt was right.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of self respect there on what is our opinion, what people think, what we want to do. So that is one essential skill I didn't have when I was 17. I would just go with the flow, peer pressure, basically.
So advice that I would tell myself, like, of course, have self-respect is something we both share. I would also tell that to myself, like, have self-respect, have dignity, and learn. Walk away if you feel you're not being given that. But additionally, what I would also, damn, I just forgot. I just blanked. Crap. Can you continue?
That was
I
actually
don't
going
know.
to be me like 5 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
I
I was
have
like,
no.
I hope he
I
remembers.
just blanked. Just continue.
No, that's
I
okay.
can't believe I forgot. Kind of embarrassing, but hey, life.
No, that's okay. Like, it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
But currently, I think I've been hearing different opinions
Oh,
about.
so sorry for cutting you. I literally just remembered. Like, my bad. So yeah, like what I
Here
would
we
tell
go.
myself is chase meaningful relationships in life. Because as a young man, I was also propagandized into believing that it was cool to whatever sleep around, etc., etc. Like, chase meaningful relationships and try to build long-term relationships in life, because like being in a loving, trusting, long-term relationship builds your character. It adds to quality of your life, and it genuinely improves your happiness in life, because relationships are more than just about the physical. There you have emotional, intellectual, mental needs, and it is very, very critical that you fulfill them, because in committing to someone, is seriously committing to someone over a long period of time truly builds character in men and women.
That's right.
Sorry for cutting you off, but I just remember.
No, the funny part is now I have
Oh,
blanked.
hilarious.
I think we have just gathered so much wisdom that we are like, okay, what do we exactly
Or
tell
we're
our
old and dumb. Like,
Yeah, we are old. I do feel old sometimes. Maybe that would be the next thing. If you are gonna do old things, just do them.
Yeah.
Go to bed at 9, it's fine.
A lot of this world is a lie. So, in terms of like people lie to each other all the time, your bosses will lie to you, your parents will lie to you. Everyone, when they speak to you, they have their own agenda. So, be very, very careful and as a kid, you kind of put blind faith into the world. And as an adult, you develop a necessary dose of cynicism, which is honestly key to survival. So, don't take anything at face value. Always have your own thoughts. Always question, always think things through. Because believing people blindly just, makes you miserable. Over to you.
And take life decisions not at other people's pace but at your pace. So like maybe in my 20s I would relate this to marriage or having kids, but when you're 17 or 18 it's like you're embarrassed to take a gap year. You're embarrassed to join an internship because everyone else is gonna go abroad, do their masters. You're like, I'm gonna stay back, I'm gonna do this. Is this the right choice? But sometimes that decision will really give you more than maybe what the other decision might have not.
Yes.
Things like that. So yeah, I guess.
No, I have one more. If you're gonna pursue a degree, because like we were, I think I speak for both of us, correct me if I'm wrong, that we were also propagandized to think, just learn whatever you want. As long as you get a degree, you'll get a good job. And that was one of the biggest lies that I, and honestly, a lot of people have been told. Like today, the internet has made knowledge ubiquitous in a way that it never was. It also has made knowledge accessible in a way it never was. So people can learn at their own pace. And in today's world, in the industry, if one thing is prioritized above anything and everything else, it is actual experience. So in the industry, what makes you ahead is contacts, having contacts with the right people, and actually having done the work and having gained the experience is worth its weight in gold. So this conventional route of just, I'll go to university for 5 years, 8 years if you have a PhD, whatever, and then join the industry and everything will be dandy is a lie. So many people I know have PhDs and are underpaid, etc., etc. Don't go for that. A way in the modern world is actually take a gap year. And if you're going to do a degree, then actually calculate that degree in terms of ROI. Okay, I'm putting in this much. Do I expect to gain this much? And also calculate, okay, if these 5 years actually worked, how much would I gain? Yeah. Is the juice really worth the squeeze? And if you do that, you'll find a lot of degrees are just bogus. They're bullshit. They're there to extract people's money rather than endow them with the skills necessary for academia, or sorry, for industry. So a much better route would be to just start working in an industry. Sure, you'll be an unpaid intern or you'll earn very less, but it's better than being a student. And you can always have a distance learning. And if you want practical experience, like let's say you're a molecular biologist, you need to work in a lab, a master's course for molecular biology takes 2 years, right? Half of that, like one semester of that, is for lab work. So what you can do is you can do 1.5 years of distance learning. You can gain the requisite knowledge, and then the half year you can work in a lab, and that will endow you with 2 years of actual practical real world experience, and that is worth its weight in gold. So if there's one message from all this I have told you, it's this. Anything else to add? I just have one point. So this, I used to feel a lot when I was 18 or 19 that, okay, people are posting stories on social media and, that photo, oh my God, she's, the perfect weight, she's the perfect height, look at her dress, I love it. Oh, people are going out on a Saturday, why am I at home, So the reality is so different. It can be way different than what you see on social media. But when you're 17 or 18, due to peer pressure or all these things, you're made to believe that that is what is true. Yes. But now I would rather, have my comfiest pajamas, take a nice cup of cocoa, sit with a book, and I don't feel guilty for it. Spend time with your husband, like suppose somewhere. Like there all the time. Again, pushing me out of the frame will not achieve it. It's a classic. But yeah. So I think that is something important that every 17 or 18-year-old needs to know. Social media is a lie, and that applies. Like we are not lying to our subscribers, most definitely not. Exactly. But there's definitely parts of our life that we never have and never will share online. And that healthy separation is needed because you're an individual above all else. You have a family to protect, and that matters more than anything else. For sure. I guess this would be a good place. Yeah, like good luck to you guys. Like life is ever drifting down the stream, lingering in the golden gleam. What is life but a dream, in the words of C.S. Lewis? Like, share, and subscribe. See Goodbye. Ya.